It's Nolan. Now, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing it on your respective platforms. Let somebody know what we're doing today. Now, let's get into the show.
Black, young, and innocent. Recipe to get robbed. I talk, but really lit as shit. Uncles on collect cars. My parents straight from Cali vacated before they made me another hood where they raised me. The South Side just as crazy. Middle school, niggas had the pills. Gun work, community ills. I played the crib, learning musical skills. Couple homies selling work. Them niggas gave me the chills. We buying clothes out in Fayetteville. The story is real. The college park precinct right beside the apartments. Was taught to be cautious. I guess that's why they think I'm conscious. I was smart in class. Seen niggas talking shit. Next period, holler ass. I was selling CDs on the bus, man, I just wanted cash. Started up my early hustle. Mama prayed to God I'm covered. Probably cause she noticed all the rapper shit. I grew the covet, multiplied. Street ties emulsified. Gun size, we can't go outside. Ain't trying to look, I closed the blinds. Not to mention soul ties. Young nigga chasing skirts. Trying to get some cut before a nigga leave to go to work. Fuck it, I was moving reckless. Shouted, brought me to the crib. Smashing in the room with the baby, sleep beside the bed. Said I gotta leave cause a nigga coming. Told me that he was a gunman. I ain't got no heat and plus the beef ain't really worth confronting. Guessing I was on to something. Still alive to this day. Rest in peace to trouble. Can't believe they took that man away.
What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everyone's doing well out there. Wait, what is this? My bad, John. This email came in, kind of distracted me for a second. But yeah, man, in this video, we're gonna be getting into Glasses Malone and his reaction to the call from Young Thug where he was speaking on Kendrick Lamar, comparing him to Drake, talking about how many people Drake put on. You look around Atlanta, all the niggas that feed their families based on the collabs and the help that Drake has extended to them, and basically saying, you know, why is he holding all the blessings to himself? Why is he not working with me? Why is he not working with Lil Baby? Why is he not working with Lil Durk, who's not even an Atlanta artist, but I know he moved here? Basically, like, why is he not fucking with the folks that are kind of like underneath the level of Kendrick? You know what I'm saying? Not level in terms of just the tiers in music. So we've already talked about this. We seen TDE affiliates come out. We seen Keem from TDE speak on this. T-Rail from back on Fig. T-Rail stood on business. I don't know what was going on with Keem, but he seems to be kind of indifferent about the situation. You know what I'm saying? It seems like he's more concerned about who's leaking these phone calls, what their agenda is, and what is it that they're trying to prove by putting these calls out. I can really care less about any of that because they tell you when these calls are happening that they're going to be recorded and could be used in the future. So I think anybody that's ever seen a jail call, heard a jail call, or witnessed a jail call in any format knows that. You don't have to be a street person to identify with that information. But for whatever reason, that's the angle he took. You know what I'm saying? So we saw that Hitter J3 is standing on business, letting it be known, hey, them niggas was checking in when they was coming out here. So let us know what it need to be. And now Glasses Malone has come out and said his piece about the looking out for artists, who's putting who on, working with Atlanta, et cetera, et cetera. Glasses pretty much feels like Kendrick don't need Atlanta. So that's not nothing to really be worried about because Kendrick stands strong on his own. I mean, if he wanted to do an album with 0 features, 0 nothing, it would be fine. So I think we already kind of know the differences between the likes of a Kendrick Lamar and a Drake. We don't really have to dissect those ad nauseum, but I am going to play what Glasses Malone had to say. He had a lot to say breaking down both of these guys. So let's go ahead and pull it up because it's not going to be a short piece.
And I noticed this has kind of been the rhetoric of how many people Drake put on. And And then I saw the clip. Now, rewind back to where I saw where Thug was, fast forward back to where Thug is saying that, where it's like, oh man, that's why he ain't gonna be as big as the Owl, because he don't do a lot of shit for people. And in that thing, he was talking about his Instagram. He even was critiquing how he markets himself. Oh, he don't want to post no picture. Why you got Instagram? You don't post no picture. And I found it really ironic that he ended up being the most trending topic yesterday without posting a picture.
Boy, if I had a motherfucking flex bomb, I would drop that bitch right now. He was trending without dropping a motherfucking picture. Nigga trend anytime you see a nigga on the street that look like Kendrick. That motherfucker trend. Damn, was that him?
So it's nothing wrong to me with Thug critiquing how he wants to market himself, especially the way he did it in private. But I do want to talk about this belief that Drake is putting people on. Now, Drake did defend himself. No, because it ain't about him. It's about this thought. No feature for somebody can put you on. You have to have a record. Let's start there. Right? You got to have a record. Like Drake has done features for other artists, and those records did not blow up because they weren't records.
During his when he was hot though, I think anything that Drake was touching when he was hot though.
That did not blow up. He got with Draco when he was on fire, that didn't blow up.
Draco messed that up though.
Not really. It's just not a great record.
Well, I think Draco.
The belief is that somebody is so hot, is so good that whatever they do is gonna blow up. That's not true.
I thought Draco's timing with putting it out was wrong. I thought that's what happened with Draco's joint. The timing.
Well, it's not necessarily timing. It's just it wasn't a record. Everything Drake does is not a record. For as great of a record maker as he is, he did the joint with Nip, and it wasn't a smash hit record. And then he did the joint with Dot, and it is a smash hit record.
All right, so what Glasses Malone is getting into here is describing this idea that you can be this massive artist, this hot artist, this ubiquitous artist. You so big that everything you touch turns to gold. You know, the theory of the Midas touch, all that good shit, right? And Glasses Malone is coming out and deconstructing that idea and saying there's nobody that can just make a piece of coal turn into a diamond on their own. Just from them touching it, it goes crazy, right? If the record isn't the right record, if it's not the right song, it's still not going to do what you might expect it to do. It's not going to be a number one record, or it's not going to be this culturally significant big record. He used examples. He said he did a song with Draco. It wasn't a massive hit, right? Said he even did a song with Nipsey. It didn't turn out to be a massive hit because they weren't the right records. So it just goes to show, even with Drake's perceived power, not everybody you work with is going to receive that ultimate benefit that people think comes with it, that stimulus, as they call it.
Would you call 100 a smash hit record?
No. It's a good joint, but it's not a smash hit record. This is my opinion on Drake as far as him collabing with other artists, right? Drake and his team are I've said this before, Drake and his team are some of the best scientists to come into the music business. Like when it comes to making records, he's one of the best scientists. He understands records, and he has a decent understanding about culture.
And I'm going to just take it a step further, right? If you look at a lot of the stuff that Drake jumped on during like the heyday of the heyday, when you go and look at the stuff he did with the Futures of the world in the early stage, you go and look at the Migos, Thug, when he infiltrated the Atlanta space, I don't know how the world saw this stuff happening, but in Atlanta, as a nigga that was a resident, that was living out here, that was hearing the radio, that was seeing the movement that was happening in the clubs, Drake was jumping onto things that were already bubbling. He was doing remixes for niggas and sending verses in on stuff that was already kind of having motion in the streets. And he like, okay, that's what's popping, that's what's next. Let me be a part of that. So that not only gave him credit for the ear and knowing what was next, but it also positioned him, right, to be a part of what that next thing was gonna be. Those songs might not have been Billboard charting crazy hits, but they were gonna be culturally relevant joints, even without them, because they was already building and bubbling within the culture. They just hadn't gotten the mainstream look yet. The lingo was already spreading. The sound was already spreading. He just attached himself to it, and it allowed him to start adding some street cred and start talking different on them records, because these guys that were coming out of these neighborhoods was like, shit, if Drake is fucking with it, yeah, let's go. Hell yeah, we co-signing what this nigga talking about. Hell yeah, we stamping this nigga. Hell yeah. Whatever he say, go. Right? And that was the two-way street. Doesn't mean that the two-way street lasts forever. But at the time, they like, shit, it is what it is. We see Young Thug still standing on that. Some people ain't still standing on that.
So he'll look at a record like Versace, right? That's this regional fire record, right? By this new group called the Migos, right? This new group called the Migos. He'll look at that and he'll see that it's a cultural appeal. And it's truly a cultural appeal that he doesn't have. And I saw him kind of talking to that little white lady in that bed and, oh, you know, my collaborative efforts. It's not that, homie. Like, nobody's mad at you collaborating with brothers. It's when you actually, right? Like, to me, Drake can't take credit for putting on the Migos. It's nothing. I do think he was a big boost in their career. I think his feature got them a national budget. It probably got them all kind of other opportunities. I'm not disagreeing. You know what I'm saying? I think that. But I don't think you could say he put on the Migos. Like, when you put an artist on, it's when you dedicate your time either as a producer or as an executive to actually cultivate that person's, you know, career. Just like the Migos go on to have a really great career, you know what I mean? McConan didn't.
I think that it's not a put on. I think it's more or less a cosign. You know what I'm saying? His cosign was meaning a lot at one point. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if he stood next to you, the same thing like Hov was doing at one point. If Hov co-signed you, you was going, did the whole Rockefeller like that. Everybody co-signed on Rockefeller.
But that don't mean everything that was going to happen because of that. And it's different too. Like, to me, when you say Drake put somebody on, Drake put on Party. That's somebody he put on.
He put Weeknd on?
No. He put Party on.
I think he put Weeknd on too.
No. Okay. Listen, if Drake could put people on, he has artists signed to his label that are not on.
Because he's shelving them niggas. That's why.
Not he's shelving them. That's not true.
That music is coming out. Naomi Sharon is actually talented. The music is coming out. You know, she's in a different bracket. She's, you know, they be trying to compare her to Sade and all that type of shit. I don't know what day of the week it is, but it ain't Sade. You know what I mean? But she's talented, but it's not really happening like that for her. You could exclude Party Next Door from the conversation, although he's a great example. Now, when you speak on whether or not he put The Weeknd on, I don't know. I can't say that, right? When I personally, and I can only speak from my perspective, I remember Weekend going viral with that House of Balloons shit. I didn't see Drake's name like associated with that when that shit went crazy. I seen The Weekend, House of Balloons, and whatever the fuck. And I ain't never liked the nigga music. Ever. In my life. Okay? But I remember how viral that shit was just on the blog circuit and fucking Twitter at the time, and everybody was treating him like he was that shit. I went and listened to this music, and this nigga singing about a girl goddamn shivering in the bathtub, damn near dying off of fucking cocaine or some shit. I'm like, this what niggas is on? Fuck out of here. But that was just me. I'm just a different type of nigga. I'm a hip hop nigga. That's just me. So I feel like I seen his ascension happen without Drake. Now, Drake may have been involved in the background or something, because I think some of the records that actually were intended to go on that initial project from Weekend ended up being pillars in Take Care. But even with that, that's more so Weekend helping him so that his sophomore album could be more solid than his debut album. Does anybody remember Drake's debut album? Thank Me Later? It's not a good album. I'll digress. It's not a good rap album. Let me say that much.
Like, it's not easy. Like, it's not as simple as you stand next to somebody and they're gonna blow up because you're standing next to them. You get eyes on you, but if the whole thing ain't together, if this person is not a record maker, like, it's different. So like when he has somebody sign, let's say the OVO, in comparison to Kendrick, right? With King, right? King, who signed to PG Lang. That's the guys you're putting on. The guys you take an interest in building their career, you go sit in the studio, you make it your effort to help them create records. That's your whole shit.
Trap, let me make sure I understand you. You say he put them on by putting them on the shelf?
I'm not. No.
Is that what you're saying?
No. What I said, what I'm saying is the power of a cosign, and I think that's what Drake was doing though. Like, so Glasses like to say a lot of time. No, I wouldn't say that he broke anybody. I wouldn't say he broke anybody, but I say that his cosign at one point meant a lot for certain artists' careers.
That's
you
true.
know what I'm saying? Like that.
But yeah, I don't think at that point, I don't even know if it's necessarily, like, I'm not mad at the term co-signed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not mad at the term co-signed, but I think that's even giving a lot to it. And I do agree with Drake. It is a two-way street, but I don't think the average person understands it's a two-way street, because then you would have to have a real care for street urban culture. You would have to see what he inherited by doing Versace.
Exactly.
You would have to see what he inherited for doing, Poetic Justice. He also did Black Boy JB song.
Mm-hmm.
He did a lot
I only
of
know
people.
one song. I only know one song by Black Boy JB, and it's that song. I don't know other song
But
by
that's
Black
my
Boy
point,
JB.
right? It's like, is it so when you saying that, like, is he putting an interest in Black Boy JB? Which I don't think no artist, and I'm not saying this because Dot is my homeboy or nobody else. Could Dot put me on? No. If Dot made it his business, like, yes, if he focused on everything Glasses and said, I'm gonna stop doing everything I'm doing and I'm gonna make you my primary goal of Glasses, you being this, possibly it would take a lot.
A lot of money.
It would take a lot of his effort, his time, because you would have to start, you got to figure out what worked for this artist. You got to figure out everything. Like, all people can do, you know what I'm saying, is give you a bigger light.
I think this is an amazing example right here. And this is one thing of a person who is self-aware. Because Glasses knows his career isn't like the most gleaming career. Although he has records and he's done things behind the scenes. He's got a couple joints, with big names in the industry. He's willing to put himself out there and say, look, as big as Kendrick is, he could not come into my world and just say, I'm finna make Glasses Malone a household name overnight, giving him a feature. That's real. You know what I'm saying? And he's getting into, you could shine a light on a person, but once you have that light on you, what are you going to do with it? How are you going to monopolize and capitalize on that moment? There's a lot of people that come through this music industry that have a moment. That doesn't mean that they're able to string multiple moments together. Doesn't mean that they're able to stretch that moment out. Doesn't mean that they get multiple albums where you checking for them. Doesn't mean that they're going to get iconic performances on the most coveted programs. There's a whole lot of different shit, a lot of different protocol, a lot of red tape you got to go through in the industry in order to really be on. You could be on, but is you on? And Glasses is saying, in order for Kendrick to put me on, he would really have to dedicate a lot of time, effort into constructing what it is that's gonna make Glasses Malone excel to this different level. He's gonna have to have input on his look, on what's gonna make him marketable, look wise, how he walk, how he talk, how he shares his messaging, what the theme of the album is, the singles. Probably have to help write some of the shit. You know what I'm saying? In order to put him at that pinnacle. He can't just say, hey man, shout out Glasses Malone, or get on a song with him and niggas gonna be like, oh my God, Glasses Malone is my favorite rapper. You're gonna be like, my favorite rapper is on a song with Glasses Malone. How nice of you. And keep that shit moving. Let's be real.
To shine in. And that's where I give Drake credit. He understood certain records were cultural phenoms and he shined lights on them. Like, by that same standard, Future didn't have access to a pop budget until probably he sat next to Drake.
But 9 out of 10 times Drake does that, it's a one hand washes the other type of situation though. Drake getting something out of the deal too. They just Drake doing it. Like if K Dot was to do that for you, he wouldn't get nothing out the deal.
Hell no.
Like,
but it also ain't nothing he could do. Like I got a new song with K Dot now. What the fuck does that mean? Like I have to do
gotta send that song over, B. You gotta send that song over, B.
I have to do the business. Right? I got a new song coming with K Dot. I have to do the business.
For sure.
And then works for right. So the record has to be just right. I have to figure out how to make the record work. Right. I had a record with Dot in 2015 called Thuggin'. And I made that record for Scarface initially. Dot heard he wanted to do it. We was talking about my best friend, his people, and we ended up doing some records, and he does this record. And I remember not knowing how to market a song, like just realizing, you know what I mean, how to make records, right? I just learned how to make records, Trap, right? Mm-hmm. Just learn, but now how do you market songs? So I guess I'm saying this to say that is just not true. Like, he didn't put on more artists than Dot. Dot, they probably have featured on just as many artists as, they have just as featured on as many artists record. They both have, one has Party, one has King.
Not going to agree with you with this one right here, buddy. I'm telling you right now.
When you putting on somebody, don't you, okay, so I kind of get what Glass is talking about, because when it comes to Drake, that's why people call him Dracula and shit. Call him Drake because when he doing,
he's definitely a vulture. He's definitely a vulture. Yes. Yeah, my bad.
How that really you putting somebody else on when you damn near trying to get put on with you being doing the song with them. He trying to get what they have, and that's street urban culture, which with you. So he borrowed your street urban culture. You borrow his popularity. That's almost like a pro quo kind of situation. Not no goddamn, I'm putting you on.
So yeah, to what hold on real quick. So to what Glass was saying, right? So what Glass was saying, I don't think he puts people on to the culture, to the hood, to hip hop. No, he puts people over there to get viewed by them other people though. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Like the pop, the hip hop crowd. You know what I'm saying? Like that. He puts people on to that shit right there. No, he ain't putting nobody on to hip hop, to the hip hop fan base. No, he ain't doing that. But the hip hop people though, they're tuning in these people.
They're not hip.
Like,
Pop, the pop people.
pop, whatever you want to call it. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Like that. So he putting them on. He putting them on to that shit right there. That's what he putting them on to. He ain't putting them nothing on to no damn hip hop. No, that's what I'm saying. But
go ahead, Trap. I'm sorry, but that make him a vampire though. Trap, in a way. It make him for eternal life. You get to be my servant now. I mean, that's what. So for my pop fans, I get to some of your street urban culture. Like that ain't really me putting you on at that point. That's like we putting each other on a little bit.
But see, they're acting like these people that Drake is doing features with is nobodies. Before, like they just nobody.
They definitely gonna be bigger after they do the shit with Drake.
Yeah, but they act like they were just nobodies to be put on. It's almost like they was nobodies, and he came along and I found him at the bus station, and now they on.
It's just how
not that way.
It's just how somebody discovers somebody.
Too.
Like there's a population of people that don't discover you until this very hugely successful person making rap songs raps on your song. So you can't deny that there's a different access to economics because Drake is on your song, right? The label is like, okay, we can spend money on this because we know Drake is worth this many dollars, right? We know radio would give it a different look because Drake is on this song. These are facts. I mean, you can't debate that.
Yeah.
But what Drake understands and 40 understands is cultural records.
Exactly.
It's cultural records that these are records that they can't make. They can't make Versace. Versace is a very seasoned in Georgia thing. Like how brilliant the Migos are is not really discussed for some reason, but like culturally they're phenomenons.
That's another thing too, Trap. I'm sorry, G, not to cut you. But that's another thing too, G, that G making a point about is Drake. A lot of these features, he come back to these features, dude. Like after the song already, then like.
Oh yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
You see that okay, that's popping. That's dope.
You want to remix it?
Yes. Now here come Drake ass. This shit made this shit. So Drake is more of a vampire to me when it comes to him putting on people than.
All right, there's that. There's a part 2, and then we're gonna get up out of here. This ain't too much longer. It's a couple more minutes.
I'm explaining to Thug why that didn't matter. What you represent to Drake ain't what you represent to us. And you got to know that. Like, what you represent to Drake ain't what you represent to us. Don't none of us give 2 fucks about no another street nigga, period. I can't do no song with no nigga in this business that's going to give me cultural cachet.
But should we be shocked about Thug's attitude towards the situation? The nigga wear dresses. Like, a nigga who acting like a young lady in the situation and who wear dresses. Like, he act like a hoe in that situation. He didn't get his way. Now that nigga just saying bullshit. I thought he came across in that situation, in that audio.
No, yeah. But that was his private conversation. But just the thought, I just didn't want. I'm just really being honest with why it's different for us, homie. Like, we don't need you for that. We don't need Wham for that. We don't need 21 for that. Like, and I'm speaking for Dot. I'm speaking for J Rock. I'm speaking for Q. I'm speaking for Show. I'm speaking for all of us that really came up the hard way in the streets, that got our own reputation and our own cultural cachet. We don't need y'all for that. You can't give us no cultural cachet. It's actually, honestly, it's kind of like at the core of street urban culture, it's frowned upon because nigga, you wearing dresses. Like niggas like you fuck with that. Like, don't get me wrong, the niggas who ain't tripping, that's getting high, that's partying, they gonna be like, you got the Thug feature. That's solid, G, that's player. But at the essence of it, the solid stomp down niggas, you know what I mean? Nigga gonna be like, oh man, you fuck that nigga wearing that dress, man. That nigga really, they gonna be asking you if this nigga like men. You get what I'm saying? That sound bad? No,
that sounds accurate.
It only sounds bad because it happened so long ago. I remember when that shit happened. I didn't think there was no way he was gonna make his way out of that. You know what I'm saying? But niggas around the way, they said, hey man, Thug really like that, man. Thug is stamped. Okay? Thug done laid some shit down. Thug done did this, that, and the third. Allegedly. So they say whatever he say, go. He want to wear a dress. He want to wear a skirt. He want to wear a thong. He want to wear whatever the fuck he want to wear. He the type of nigga that'll pull up on your block wearing that dress and lay some shit out. Allegedly. That what nigga said. So they say, hey man, you know, they treated him like he was motherfucking what's my nigga name from The Wire? Motherfucking Omar. You know what I'm saying? I said, all right, man, I ain't got nothing to do with none of that shit. So whatever y'all on, y'all on. Shit. I ain't finna be playing none of that, too much of that shit, no way. When that nigga said he'd shoot at the Reverend, I was like, whoa, I'm good on that.
No.
Sounds accurate.
No.
Look at Trap's face.
No.
Be
You
on
don't,
the dress.
you don't think if you came back with like the thug, kind of like certain niggas be like, what's up with that? What's up with him?
Nah, I think we be kind of beyond the dress shit when it comes to him. We all know he was trolling and all that shit like that, though. Especially with the.
I don't think we
Was
all
he trolling,
think, I know for sure most of my homies don't think he was just trolling.
I don't know, man.
For sure, he was trolling. He was trolling. He was attention seeking, man.
For the dress Trap.
I mean, listen, I'm not gonna sit here and give you no reason of why that man put on a dress. I'm just saying that it was a troll move and it broke him into the algorithm and that shit gets mentioned over and over. I'm not putting no pause shit on. I'm saying I'm saying that nigga did it for attention seeking.
I mean, he's a pause for sure.
You say he paused for sure? He paused?
Yeah, for sure he paused. I'm not saying he's a homosexual man. I'm telling you, he does 1,000 things as pause.
Yeah, because
now is he trolling or not? I don't know. You know what I mean? That's the thing. I don't know. But if I did a song with Thug, that's what people would be asking me. They'd be asking me personally, like, what's up with him for real? Like,
would you do a song with Thug?
No.
I mean, if all this shit hadn't came out.
Nah. I wouldn't have did a song with Thug
before the dress.
Yeah, maybe before the dress, but I don't know. I don't think we fit. I don't think everybody fit with what I do. I didn't think Drake fit with what I do. I don't think everybody fits with what I do. Hell, sometimes I used to be worried, do Dot fit with what I do?
So the dress just made you for sure, like, yeah.
Oh, that was it.
With that.
Yeah, confirmed it.
Sure.
I mean, stilettos.
Once he wore that dress, it was like, no.
That's stiletto.
You don't listen to his music or nothing?
No, I'm not. Yeah, no, I'm not playing none of his songs.
And the nigga,
I'm not mad.
So
like,
do you look at it the same way when the actor put on the dress?
No.
Don't do this, because here's Coach. Coach, go come back to this stuff. Don't do it, Coach.
No.
Let's just keep going.
So you ain't okay. Right.
No, like I don't care if Martin put on a dress because I know he was acting as a role, acting as Shanae. I don't know what Thug was acting as.
He's acting like a gay man.
But again, it's not quite to. I'm not. When I'm saying what I'm saying, I'm not putting Thug. Thug is he's a gifted, talented person. He is a tremendous talent. Like what he does vocally as a rap artist is dope.
Okay, I got a question. We know he's talented, but is he intelligent?
I think he had to be intelligent. Meaning.
All right. So that is Glasses Malone giving his thoughts on Young Thug, the comparison between Drake and Kendrick as it pertains to Young Thug's phone call. They then get into some more specific things surrounding Young Thug and his past of wearing dresses or what have you. And you know, one of the keys in that second clip is that he said there's nobody that could put cultural cachet on any of us. Basically saying us guys that came up in the streets, got it the hard way out the mud, me doing a song with you does not actually add anything because we come from the same shit. So it's not a plus. It keeps me at the same level that I'm already at. And I think somehow that message kind of got, well, I won't even say message, but that ideology mostly got overlooked in a lot of the conversation that was put out here around that call, because people were actually trying to figure out, you know, like what is you do a song with me, do a song with Dirt, do a song with Lil Baby, you gonna get the street niggas playing your shit. And it's like, might get the street niggas in Atlanta because it's enough street niggas that's playing a nigga shit where he come from. And just like you feel like where you come from is valid, where them niggas come from is valid. So it cancels each other out. But all in all, at the end of the day, if Kendrick don't want to work with nobody, if that nigga does a strict no feature policy for the rest of his fucking career, that would be unfortunate, but that would be his call and he would be well within his rights. And I think a lot of people would be well within understanding of why he made that call. You know what I'm saying? But to be honest, I hope, he continues to show love, spread love, work with the people that he feels led to work with, and everything else will fall into place just as it should. The Young Thug collaboration never came to fruition because it just wasn't supposed to. You know what I mean? And Young Thug further confirmed that it wasn't supposed to because it wasn't coming from a genuine place to begin with. And I'm sure if Kendrick was even considering doing it, it was off of some form of fucking with Young Thug, because I believe Kendrick chose the record that he wanted to get on. I think from another portion of the call, Young Thug's management played him multiple records from the album, and Kendrick said, I want to get on this one. You know what I mean? But for whatever reason, it just didn't happen. So, again, it wasn't supposed to. Be sure to let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If you haven't yet, go support Poppin' by J Nolan. Yeah, boy, we about to play it on the outro. That is the new outro on the channel. Run that up for me. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Play it in the whip. Play it in your gym. You know what I'm saying? Hell, if you a personal trainer, cut that shit on the loudspeaker. You know what I'm saying? If you in the gym playing ball at LA Fitness and some shit, man, put that bitch on the speaker, man. Turn that motherfucker up, man. It's a lot of use cases with this motherfucking record. Ain't no way to stop it when a nigga popping. All right, but I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Much love and respect. Peace.
Ain't no way to stop it when a nigga poppin'. Pull up, start a problem, I got plenty options. Homies from the project, we the trending topic. I got bennies in my wallet, fuck your all I got is all I could get. Flooded the nine and I flooded my wrist. Tell me I rap for the glamour and glitz. Got on my shit, now they rent me on list. Filling my pocket, I'm taking a trip. Call me a genie, I'm filling my wish. When it come down to me and get in my bag, I gotta get it, I pay for the lift. I got a baby, we coming legit. Roll with the big now. I need my cut like fit now. Buddy got shot like Sim car. Married to the game like in-laws. Do what I please, move with the breeze, right to believe. Shawty, she love me, she come in the tease. Ready the haters, we cutting the weeds. Give me my space, oh man. Got me a taste, oh man. Flooded the face, I'm running a race, I cover the bases, all down. Nigga, don't try me, I'm on my square. Cardiac diamonds, I want me a pill. Treat all this money like I got a meal. Everything closer than it might appear, yo. Bitch, I got my mask on now, watch your germs here. I've been getting paid since the first time on my third tip. Hopping on the net, fuck a local, I got turf here. Fucking with the squad, we gon' put y'all in some merch, yeah.